Everyone knows the Sholom Aleichem, and it's always nice to take these things that we always do, and sometimes we don't think about it too much, but to also to analyze the things that we do on a common basis and try to figure out what's the source and a lot of interesting facts about it. So an interesting thing is the Sholom Aleichem. So everyone knows the Sholom Aleichem, everyone sings it. And so besides for which tune you sing it to, there are other things to talk about. And there's, where does it come from, the whole concept of singing of these Malachim? They say we're welcoming the Malachim. So where does the whole concept of these Malachim coming to us start from? So it starts from a Gemara. There's a Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Kuf Yotes, on the sheet, the first Malachim. It says that when a person comes home, there are two Malachim that accompany him. When he comes home from Shul Shabbos night, two Malachim accompany him home from his house. So let's see the Gemara inside. Gemara says, Tanya Rabbi Yesi Bar Yehuda Imer, Shnei Malachi Asharis Moavin Leil Adam, the Erev Shabbos, Mi Beis HaKnesses and Beisei. There are two Malachi Asharis which accompany a person from the Shul back home to his house. In Echad Toiv, Echad Ra, the one Malach is there's a good Malach and a bad Malach. Two Malachim are accompanying him from Shul. Ukshabala Beisei, Umatza Ner Dolok V'Shulchan Aruch, Mitasei Motzas. So when they come to his house and they find that the candles are lit and the table is set and the chairs, everything is set up nicely for Shabbos, Malach Tev Eimer, the good Malach says, the good Malach says that maybe Hashem's will that the next Shabbos should be the same, should be a beautiful Shabbos house next week on Shabbos as well. And the bad Malach, even though he doesn't like it, he's forced to say Amen and to greet it. What if not? What if the house is not set up, the house is not ready? And if it's not, then the bad Malach says the same thing. Maybe
he shouldn't go nuts on his wife if it's not set up the right way, like right away.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't smash his wife up.
No.
Right? It's not the way it's supposed to be, like right there when he comes back, boom, smash, hit.
No, that's Malachim's job.
If you want to
right?
That's a bad
Don't
one.
yell at your wife and smash it because it's not exactly like the way it should be, like that.
So there's
nice.
So if the house is not set up, the house is not set
Take
up.
it easy. Don't smash around, right?
It's like, let's say it's talking about a person who did it carelessly. I'm saying if the kid's making it crazy out of baby, things like that.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's talking about a person who was being a bit careless and didn't care so much about the Shabbos. So if they came home, the tables they weren't too careful and they didn't set the house for Shabbos, and the bad Malach says that maybe Hashem's will that next week it'll be the same. It'll also be a big balagan in the house. And Malach Teiv Eina Amen Bal Karchi, and the good Malach is forced to say Amen. So that's where the whole concept of two Malachim coming to our house, Malachim coming to our house start from. So where does the whole Nusach? We have the whole song Sholom Aleichem. So when earlier it's brought down from some of the Shadim that there was a certain Nusach they had to welcome the Malachim. They were welcome them in. But the song and the exact Nusach, the way we have it, it comes from the Arizal. There's a Siddur Tikunei Shabbos, which I think was from one of the Talmudim of Arizal. He brings down the whole Nusach, the Sholom Aleichem, and he explains more about who are these Malachim and what happens when they come home. And he says when you come home, you should say this Nusach, you should sing it joyfully, and it's a very special moment. So that's in the Tikunei Shabbos, is in the second Malachim on the paper. He says, right away when they come into their house, right away they should say in front of the table and the candles which they lit, Shabbos Malchusah, Tfilazu, they should say this prayer, this phrase, a beautiful prayer, Hamus Keres Lamata, which is mentioned below, the Kavana with the great intent, the Usad Liba with the great joy, the Simcha Bechedva. It should be freilich when you're saying the Sholom Aleichem. What's the reason why? Because the two Malachim which are accompanying him from the Shul to his house. Echad Teiv, Echad Ra. There's a good Malach and a bad Malach. Kamaim Rabbi Seir Zechinah LeBracha, prepare Kol Kisvei, like we saw in the Gemara before. And he tells you what their names are. The Eid Shnei Malachim, Hin Tzadkiel and Small. One is Tzadkiel, one is Small. I think Small is the bad one, I don't remember. The Imsa Shulchan Erkeroi, and if they find everything ready the proper way, Oz Malach Tzadkiel Meuta Ima Shechina, then Tzadkiel, together with the Shechina, he gives them Bracha, B'hu Mevarach, Yediv Rabbi Seir Zechinah LeBracha. he gives him a bracha that the next way should also be good and everything should be beautiful. So this is where the makar of the singing and the whole nusach it comes from it originates from the Arizal.
What's the bad guy doing there? What's the bad guy doing on
What's the bad guy?
Yes. What's he doing there?
He has to make sure your house is set up. It's only a good one.
Is it like a check and balance? Checks and balances?
You know, Shabbos,
Good
the
Malach,
bad
bad
guys,
Malach.
the bad guys
believe
go
it.
away. Go away.
You need checks and balance. Yeah.
I hear the question.
Tough tonight.
It'd be nice just to have it go
I'll ask you
smooth
this question.
all the time.
If everything's all good in life, so what are we challenging?
No, on Shabbos. It's
No,
special time.
That's why
it does
there's
the
a-
opposite. It's the worst time.
That's why there's-
because it's the worst time because Erev Shabbos the Yetzirah is doubled in money.
That's before Shabbos.
But the minute that Shabbos is coming, wants to know the result. Did you pass or did you didn't pass?
There's judgments on Shabbos, so that's a nice good one.
Judgment, but this is
I hear the question.
There's good and bad in the world.
That's it.
It's very simple.
Get in the game. That's it.
It's very simple.
There are other places. This is the only time it's mentioned that there are malachim that accompany us. There's another time it's mentioned that it talk about malachim that accompany us. It talks about when someone goes to the bathroom. It says that there's a certain nusach you should say because there are two malachim which accompany you everywhere you go. So it says the Gemara says that before you go to the Beis HaKisei, you should tell them respectfully, please wait for me while I do what I need to do. And it's brought down Shulchan Aruch that for certain for that we don't do this anymore. Right nowadays we don't say this before we go into the bathroom. So the question is so we have to see what's the reason why we don't mention this, and then the question comes up: if we don't say this nusach we're going to the bathroom, I'm saying the reason is brought down because we're not such holy people that we have malachim accompanying us. So the question is, how come on Shabbos we assume that we do have malachim accompanying us and we do say the Sholom Aleichem? So first, let's see about the nusach before going to the Beis HaKisei. There's in the third Malachim there's the Tur. The Tur brings down what's the nusach you're supposed to say before going to the bathroom.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Let's say, doesn't it say like with Yitzhak Avinu, with Esav and with Yaakov, that it says whatever person's actions that he does, he creates Malachim around him, good ones or not? So aren't we always aren't something's always with us? If you're doing zechuyot, you're surrounded by good. If you're not, the opposite. That's why when Yitzhak saw Esav, he got scared. Why was he scared? Because he had all those other guys there.
I think when you create malachim, that means that these are malachim that accompany you, or it just means you create malachim which they come and they testify to what you did right or what you did wrong.
I see.
I think over here we're talking about malachim that accompany you and they protect you and they watch over you.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's
It's a little different category than
yeah.
Got it.
You see when
Thank you.
Lots of types of malachim.
What?
Many different types of
I
malachim.
see.
Well, along that same line, I'm wondering if anybody ever talks about this Sholom Aleichem speaking to more than two angels, more than two.
Speaking to more,
Yeah, more than just the Tovara,
there's
the others.
What would you say? I didn't hear you.
I was wondering if anybody spoke about it, that this Sholom Aleichem, the Aleichem, is speaking to possibly more than just the Tovara.
I saw one person, but that says something along those lines, but it's going to come up later.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on mentioning it, but if you ask, I'll try to remember to stick it in. So the question, so when it comes to the Beis HaKisei, so what's the nusach that we're supposed to say? So look in the third Malachim, the Tur writes in Siman Gimel, he says, "B'knisas the Beis HaKisei, yemar you should say, Yiskabdu mechubadi my cover that he gets, Kedeshim Rishosei Elyon, the holy ones, the servants of the Eibishter, Shemuni, protect me, Azruni, help me. Hamtinu li ashe kanis ve'etzei. Please wait for me until I enter the restroom and I leave. Shekain dakin shel b'nei adam. This is the way of human beings, and we need to do this. So please wait outside till I'm done. So why don't we say this? So it continues. The Beis Yosef explains because of Rav David Avudraham. Avudraham writes, "V'shem chedushi devash." I'm not sure who that is. That who should say this? Only someone who a God-fearing person, a chassid, someone who the Shechina rests with him, a special person. But a regular person shouldn't say something because you look like you're a show-off. You have your special malachim, your bodyguards accompanying you everywhere you are. You're not such a special person. So because of this, the custom became that we don't say this anymore. So the question is brought up: how come when it comes to Sholom Aleichem, if we're not so special about Malachim accompany us, how come we say Sholom Aleichem? If we're not a special person, we shouldn't say Sholom Aleichem anyways. Some people actually want to say because of this, the Chasam Sofer didn't say Sholom Aleichem. There's an argument whether he actually says Sholom Aleichem. Some people say he said it quietly to himself, but some people want to say that he actually didn't say Sholom Aleichem because he didn't say Sholom Aleichem.
Yeah.
Because he held that we're not such holy people. Just like when we leave the Beis HaKisei, we don't say the Hiskadu Mechubadim because we assume that we're not such holy people to have Malachim accompany us. So to by Sholom Aleichem on Shabbos he wouldn't say to the Sholom Aleichem because.
You're a higher level than.
So we'll see. So this is a big question. What's going on? So like he already came out himself. There's a note from the Rebbe Rashab, which was printed in the Kfar Chabad, where he brings up the question and he says he wanted to say, and he wants to say that Shabbos is a different day. That the Kedusha, which is the Malachim which are coming on Shabbos, are not becoming because we're special. It's becoming because Shabbos is special. Shabbos is a special day, and in the schus of Shabbos, we have these Malachim which come and accompany us home from Shul to our house. Go in the fourth Maramuk, and I guess jump to the end, to the beginning of the third line. It says, so he says in short, in 3 words, Ve'efsher Shabbos Shani. Actually, you could say that Shabbos is different. Shabbos is a special day, and the Malachim come and accompany us even though they don't come during the week. There's a second explanation which is given from Yaakov Emden. He wrote the Sefer Moruk Sio, and he argues with Avudraham. He doesn't like this. He's saying that because we're not holy people, we don't say this nusach before going to the bathroom. Where does it say that only holy people are supposed to say it? The Gemara says you say this nusach when you go into the bathroom and get in there. And he brings sources that you see that even not such holy people, we find that they also have angels that accompany them. Even Rishonim also have angels that accompany them.
Like Esau.
And Esau, if I remember the source, he brings different places from the Gemara. So he has a whole other pshat. He says, what's the reason? He says, who are these 2 malachim which are accompanying us? He says, it's not the special malachim that way that we get the impressions. He's saying it's the Yisr Teiv and the Yisr Hara. What's Echad Teiv, Echad Hara? He's saying it's the Yisr Teiv and the Yisr Hara. They're always accompanying you everywhere we go, both at Tzaddik and in Russia. Everyone has the Yisr Teiv and the Yisr Hara. And he said that's why everyone says Shalom. That's why everyone says Shalom Aleichem. If so, how come we don't say this nusach before going to the into the Beis HaKisei anymore? Why don't we say it before going to the bathroom? So he says there's a different reason. So he has a whole other reason why we say this nusach. He says when we say this nusach, because it used to be that the restrooms, they used to be an outhouse out in the field, in the woods, and they were sometimes they were very worried. Either they could be bandits or they could be some evil spirits. You're worried about that. You're going to alone into a place where there's not good things out there. It's dangerous going out there. So that's why they would say this prayer is Shimruni, Shimruni, protect me, help me. Right. Because it was dangerous. But nowadays we live in the cities. We have either, I don't know, they had outhouses in the backyard, wherever it is. They didn't have to go out into the fields or into the woods to use the bathroom. He says that is the reason. He wants to say that's the reason why we don't say this nusach anymore before entering the restroom.
But does the hamtinu
wait?
That's the reason why Kabbalah Shabbos they made it longer. People going out in the field,
right?
Just have them longer. Everybody will come back together.
Yeah. So this is the common explanation is brought down. It's not like Yaakov Emden. It's because that we're not such holy people to have Malachim accompany us. But whatever, it's a nice explanation from Yaakov Emden. So that's one part of the discussion of Sholom Aleichem. And this is the more famous part of the discussion. We come home, we say Sholom Aleichem, we welcome our angels. And as soon as we're done, we say Tzeis Chama Shalom. It's been nice seeing you. Have a good day. And so everyone's bothered if you're bothered with what's going on. You invite them in the Sholom Aleichem, and you're sending them out. You invite your guests in, you tell them it's so nice, have a whole meal prepared for you, and we're about to start eating, and you have the doors that way. And so Yaakov Emden, he wrote a siddur, and so here he asks this question. He says, "What's going on? Why they should stay with you the whole Shabbos?" He's
We have
he says how they should say the whole Shabbos. He wants to say, he says, could be probably the reason, he says, I'm not sure he meant it cynically or literally. He says maybe the reason people are sending them out is because they want to leave off on a good note. You know, maybe the Malachim are not going to be so happy with the discussions going on by the Shabbos table, the news and the politics. He said, no, we're on a good note now. He's like, we'll send them out now while things are still good. So look in the sixth Malachim. I wrote his lashon. He says, why are you sending them away? Isn't it better that they should stay and they should rejoice also with the meal together with you? And if everything is proper, for sure their joy will increase. They will add the brachas to you. Why are you sending them away so quickly? So then he says, maybe people are worried that they're going to see something inappropriate. And worried that they might leave on their own. We'll send them out happily before they get upset and leave on their own. So this is shot. He actually says that he doesn't say the third stanza of Tzeis HaMashalim. He didn't like it. He says he doesn't want to change. Yeah. He doesn't want to change. Everyone says. He says, well, the third party he didn't say the Tzeis HaMashalim.
Who was the one that didn't say it, which I didn't hear?
Yaakov Endin.
Wow.
He felt it from Akron.
Yeah, he wanted the Malachim to stay. He didn't want them. He didn't want them to leave. He wanted to have a nice Shabbos meal with his guests.
You know, the Sephardim, I don't know. We say it loud, all the Sholom Aleichem, but at the end it said we say it low. Because we don't want it to say like, okay, go, I'll see you later, go in peace.
The Sephardim do that.
We say it very low, and we only say it once.
Really?
Yeah. That last stanza we say only once. Because we don't want to like you know.
This is all the Sephardim. This is like the interesting. All the Sephardim do this.
I don't know about all, but yeah.
I think a lot of it. I never heard. Interesting.
They say it low, so that it's not like, you know, I'm going good, like go in good peace, go, and saying it, say it low.
That's interesting. So this is Yaakov Endin's shot. Why? Maybe you just want to send them out early before you get into problems. There's Machsis HaShekel. He's a commentaries on the Shulchan Aruch. He has a commentary on the Magen Avraham. So he has a different shot. He says it doesn't mean you're sending them out right now. They're going to be leaving at some point. You're telling them when you go, it should be b'shalim. Everything should be in peace. Everything should be fine. Simple. Look in the seventh Malachim. Master Shekel writes, when he is like the Pashat, it's simple. The Afagad HaMalach in Shar Yisrael Adam Kol Yom HaShabbos, even though the person stays with you the Malachim stay with you the whole Shabbos, Mikol Makim Ein LaShabbos Nusach Tzeis HaMashalim. You don't have to mess up the Nusach of Tzeis HaMashalim. Don't cut it out or do anything to it. Like we say, but blessed are you when you come, blessed are you when you go. It doesn't mean we're sending you out. We're just saying it should be with blessings. Even though they're not leaving now, we're telling you your going should be in peace. Whenever it is that time is that the Malachim are going to leave, it should be in peace. Everything should be fine. So this is how he understands. There's another explanation. There's like 5 or 6 explanations that we're going to go through. There's an interesting bunch of interesting things. The Sfas Emes, the Ger Rebbe, he has another pshat, and he says, like we were talking before with Yaakov and Malachim, Yaakov and Esau and Malachim. So we find that when Yaakov came to Eretz Yisrael, there's a whole story with the ladder. The Malachim are coming down, and the other Malachim are going back up. So he's explaining that here. So what is this? So there's Malachim of Eretz Yisrael, and there are the Malachim of Chutz La'aretz, of outside of Eretz Yisrael. And the Malachim of Eretz Yisrael are on a much higher kedusha. They're a much higher level. Right. So therefore, they had a change of guards. He is leaving.
Were they equal in amount? Mm-hmm. Were they equal in the amount of
Malachim? I don't know. I didn't count. Check
the
picture.
I'm just curious.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, so there's definitely a higher.
Your chutes and ladders. Your chutes and ladders.
So there's. I'll see. He explains what's happening there. The higher, it's also a higher kedusha. Therefore, it's a higher. The malachim are a higher type of malachim. She says similarly when Shabbos comes in, they're the malachim which accompany you all week long, And then there are the Malachim which come to accompany you on Shabbos. So he says, when you're saying Sholom Aleichem, you're greeting the Malachim, you're greeting the new Malachim, the Shabbos Malachim which are coming to you. When you say Tzeis Cham Shalom, when you say may you're going be in peace, that's talking about the Malachim of the weekday Malachim.
What is the purpose of the angels? What is
They
their purpose?
accompany you, they protect you. They
have influence. They have influence on what's going on.
They also have some influence, yeah.
But if they come, their orders come from Hashem. They have directives. They have no free choice.
Yeah, saying they're there to protect you. Just like, I don't know. Or saying if you have Hashem to protect you, why do you need the Malachim?
So they work for Hashem. They're all working for Hashem.
Yeah, they're bodyguards, fire bodyguards.
So that's the concept of you backlight somebody. When you escort somebody comes to your house, you walk them a short distance out.
Yeah, escort.
You should go safely.
So you can read inside the 8th Malachim. The Sfas Emes writes that the Tach in the Farish says Cham Shalom Malachim Chol. When you're sending out the Malachim, you're talking about the weekday Malachim. Sha'ilin L'mayla, they're going back up. Im Kain Nire the Hakol Tali b'Malachim. It depends on what type of Malachim you're talking about. Ha'elyenim b'mayla, the higher types of Malachim, Kishin Yerdim when they come down. Hatachzeinim Eilim, the lower ones go back up. Ukishahim Eilim, and when the higher Malachim go back up, Hatachzeinim Yerdim, the lower ones come back down. Therefore, when Shabbos comes, Malachi Shabbos Yerdin, the Shabbos Malachim come down, and therefore you say Sholom Aleichem, and Shabbos Yerdin, and then the weekday Malachim go back up, so we say Tzeis Cham Shalom because it's the weekday Malachim, they're leaving. But the Shabbos Malachim, they're staying with you the whole Shabbos, they're not going anywhere. So it's a really nice pshat from the Sfas Emes. We're not sending them away. We're sending away the weekday Malachim. It's a change of guards. There's how many pshat? How many persons have we? Have the Yavus, Machzor Shekel, and the Sfas Emes. So we have 3. So now we're on number 4. Our 4th pshat. Why do we say Tzeis Cham Shalom? So there's a siddur from Siddur Maharid. He's an inical of the Tzemach Tzedek. He explains that he has another pshat why we're sending away the Malachim. He says because Shabbos is Yom LaHashem. Shabbos is a day between where we spend the special time with Hashem. We daven, we learn. It's a holy time. So why are we sending with the Malachim? Because it's higher. It's a higher kedusha. We're not satisfied with the Malachim. We want to spend the day with Hashem Himself. So it's nice that Malachim came here. We say Tzeis Cham Shalom. We have an important meeting with someone more important than you, with the Eibishter Himself, and therefore we're asking you nicely to leave because we're this.
Thank you for your help.
There's a special time between us and Hashem, and it's an intimate time between us and Hashem, and therefore we're asking you to leave. We'll read inside. He brings from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu said he doesn't want the Malach. He wants the Eibishter to come. So look in the 9th Malachim.
Sounds like Malachim for the we all want your
they want your Gan Eden, they want your Lanvo, we want you alone. So I couldn't find Ashur himself. I found someone who quoted the Siddur, the 9th Malachim. So B'Siddur Marid Sham, the Piska Kimalachav, he says Mamshich Eid. He's talking over the Arbinin Darks of Malachim, the different types of angels we have. Ushmira Nikas Hachitzainim. All these different things, Malachim and Tuma. Well, maybe Arichas Binyamin Moshe, and then he discussed about Moshe Rabbeinu Shli Rotza b'Malach Shurak Shliach. He didn't want the Malach to come accompany the Yidden in the Midbar because the Malach is only a Shliach of Hashem. So we see that he only wanted the Eibishter himself. The Kosev, and he writes, you can understand why we're saying Tzeis Cham Shalom. We tell the Malachim to go. Why? Because we don't want the Malachim. We want the Eibishter alone. He's Melech Malchim Lochem, Shabbos Hashem. We want the Melech Malchim Lochem with us. Shabbos is a day for Hashem. It's not a day to spend with Malachim. It's a day to spend with Hashem Himself. So this is our 4th pshat. Why you say Tzeis Cham Shalom? We have 2 more to go. There's an explanation which is brought down from the Frierdiker, and the Rebbe says over that he says very nice and very simple. He says it's not disrespectful that we're sending the Malachim away. it's the Malachim are busy people. They don't have time to hang around with us. They're coming. Every second to them is precious. Therefore, they come down. They spend the time with us. They sing Sholom Aleichem. To them, that's like a lifetime worth of time. So we're telling them, thank you, appreciate you, and we know they're not staying for a long time, and therefore we tell them, say Sholom Shalom. It's a simple answer. So that's in the 10th Malachim. And it says, "Hine pam shal echad as kaved kedush as meir v'chami admar." Someone wants to ask the Friedrich the Yisrael Riga b'makam acher when he's in Riga or some other place. Ma'adua miyad achrei Sholom Aleichem eimin kvar tzeis Shalom. Why is it that right after Sholom Aleichem, right away we send out the Malachim tzeis Shalom? What's going on? Meir v'chami heshi, the Friedrich answered, Mishum she'etzal Malachim yakar kol rega. Every second is precious to them. They're busy. They don't play around. The gam rega echod huzman orach. Even 1 second is a long time. The fact the fact that they're staying even for 1 moment, it's also a big deal. It's a big deal that these malachim should stay with you for a few moments while you sing the Sholom Aleichem. So the Taka stayed for a long time. That's not disrespectful. They came, they spent a nice amount of time with you, and now they're going, so you tell them, say Sholom Shalom. Our sixth pshat, the Rebbe has another explanation. But besides for this question, he also is answering another question. You notice we change in the stanzas. We say Sholom Aleichem Malachi Hashoris, the servant angels, and then the next 3 we switch to Malachi Hasholim. Yes, I think is that everyone's nusach over here. Some people have a different nusach. Some people change it. I think Rabbi Nezer, you say Malachi Hasholim by all them, but I think everyone has Malachi Hashoris. We switch Malachi Hashoris and Malachi Hasholim. So what's changing over here? So the Rebbe addresses 2 questions: this question, and also why do we send them out? So he says that what's Malachi Hasharis? Malachi Hasharis are when the servant angel. What's a servant angel? An angel has a mission. When he has a mission to go do something, we call them Malachi Hasharis, the serving angels. Once they finish their mission, they finish their job that they were sent for. They're not the serving angels. What do we call them? They're Malachi Hasholim. They finish their job. See, the Rebbe explains that's why we switch, because when they come to us, they come with a mission to bless us, to follow us, and therefore they're Malachi Hasharis. But once they already did their job, so then they're finished, and then they're Malachi Hasholim. They're just Malachi Hasholim, and we send and they go, and also that's why we say Tzeis Hasholim, because they finished their job, they finished their work, so therefore they're on their way out. It's similar to what we said before. It's not that we're sending them early. They finished their job. They did what they came to do, and now they're going. So we told them, "Say Sholom Shalom." So that's in the 11th Malachim. Ube'emes yishleima habir bepashtus. You say that simply the reason is hatayar malachi hasharis nitin malachim al shem hashlichus. When we call them malachi hasharis, that's because they have a mission. The kasher him avatzim shlichus, and once they have accomplished their mission, then they already call the angels of peace. And that says Shalom, why do we say Shalom that they should go? Because they finished their job, they finished their work. That's why we're sending them. That's why they're going, and we tell them Shalom. So we have a whole list of explanations of here. Why do we say Shalom, right? So I guess to summarize the big question: why are we sending them out? Why they should stay with us the whole Shabbos? So we had Yaakov Emden said that it's because we were worried that they might see something inappropriate and they're going to get angry at us, and so therefore we send them out before they get upset. We have the Master Shekel explains that really they are staying the whole Shabbos. We're just saying when you go, it should be in peace. And then we have the Sfas Emes. He explains that it doesn't mean they're leaving. It means that there's a change of guards. The Shabbos Malachim are coming, and the weekday Malachim are leaving. It's a change of guards happening. That's the third. The 4th explanation we had from the Imam called the Samach Tzedek that we're sending them out because the Shabbos is a special day we spend with Hashem, and Hashem is much higher than Malachim. That's why we tell the Malachim to please go. We have an appointment with someone bigger. And the 5th explanation we had from the Friedrich Rebbe that it's not disrespectful we're sending them out because every moment is precious. They're busy, so they came, they finished their job, They came and now they're going. And along the same lines, the Rebbe also explains that since once they finished their shlichus, they came with a mission. Once their mission is done, they're going, they're finished. That's why we switch when we say Malachi Hasharis to Malachi Hashalim.
Question.
Yeah.
Why we don't say Sholom Aleichem before we leave shul, and say Sholom when we get home?
Why?
Because you're welcoming the Malachim when you leave shul. When you come, when are the Malachim walk with you? When you get out of the shul. So say Sholom Aleichem.
When you invite someone to your house for a Shabbos, you tell them welcome when you're in the shul. You tell them welcome when they walk into your house.
No, but they're not coming. They're not coming with you. They're walking with you from shul home. They walk with you.
Right, but I guess like you welcome them. What's Sholom Aleichem? You're welcoming them into your house when you're in the streets.
Sholom Aleichem, like when you see a person, when you're gonna tell them Sholom Aleichem, when you see him in shul, or when you get home. Oh, by the way, Sholom Aleichem. No, when you see him in shul, you say Sholom Aleichem. When you walk him off, with just going to shul.
Tell them good Shabbos.
Whatever. Then I understand the idea of.
Yeah, but I guess the whole rest of the Nusach also, you're saying Bachuni l'shalim, Be'achim l'shalim. You're saying bless me. That all those other parts apply only when you're at home. It's like
so you can wait.
You're saying we should cut. We should cut it off. We should say Shalom Shalom before we leave shul, and then Be'achim Shalom once we get home. The other three parts.
And then you have a request, like before, like Yaakov also had from the Malachim Ezer. Before he left, he asked him for a bracha. So you can ask the bracha, but first it says Sholom Aleichem.
Maybe it's like you're saying that by some opinions we don't say it because we don't have the schus or whatever. So maybe it's you have to wait till you get home by the lights and by the wife and everything, and then you can address the malachim.
Here.
Maybe by shul, it's I don't know if you're
You talked about Esav and Yaakov. I have a question.
Yeah.
We talk, I ask these questions with what's going on in today's world. Why, through the generations, why people don't like the Yidden. So they say, it's from Esav and Yaakov. You hold up this way also?
So you should tell us we're going to have to tell us. We're going Golos is Golos for a reason.
From Esav and Yaakov's time. From that point in time?
Well, it definitely started then.
It started then. But Hashem said it also, that it's going to be in the...
we had it in Mitzrayim, we had it...
In every generation. In every generation. There's a form of service.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. Wish it would, I mean. But I guess until the Mashiach comes, that's it.
There's one more thing. It's not written, but there's the Mayan counters they play on Living Torah. So there's one story. Someone said that when he was a kid, when he was 11 or 13, so he came to Yechidus with his father, and the Rebbe asked him if he had any questions. So he said he did. He had a question. So he asked Rebbe this question: why is it that we switch from Malachi? First we say Sholom Aleichem Malachi Hasharis, and then we start in the next part we say Sholom Aleichem Malachi Hashalim. Why do we switch from Shalom to Sharis to Shalom? So he says a different explanation from the Rebbe, that he says along the same lines of the Sfas Emes. He told them that there are different angels. There's just like there's the Malachim of Eretz Yisrael and the Malachim of Chutz La'aretz. There are different levels of Malachim. So too on Shabbos, the Malachim of Shabbos are a higher kedusha of Shabbos. He says when we say Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharis, we're talking to the servant angels who are leaving. Which I guess this would answer your question. Why do we say Shalom Aleichem? Shalom Aleichem means, I usually think Shalom Aleichem means you're greeting someone, but over here it sounds like you're saying Shalom Aleichem, they're leaving. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharis. And then when we say Bayachim the Shalom Malachi Hashalim, those are the Shabbos Malachim. Malachi Hasharis, those are the weekdays, the days of work and Avedah, so those are Malachi Hasharis. Shabbos is the day of rest and peace, so we call them Malachi Hashalim. So that was also a nice explanation. I thought it would take a little bit. I hope it took a bit quicker than I thought it would to say this. We have some more time, so I'll go on. What? Yeah.
Question?
Yeah.
I see the Nusach of Chabad. It says afterwards it says Mi Melech Malchei Elohim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sfardim also say Mi Melech Malchei Elohim the same as this, but there's others that say without the me melech, they just say melech. Yes.
So there's.
You know why? What's
So Yaakov ended. I didn't quote it, but he asked that question. What was bothering him? He said, "Well, how do you teach it? You say Sholom Aleichem Hasharis." Mi melech Malachim Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What was the question that? What was bothering him? Simply, what it means is that the Malachim, which are coming from Malachim Hasharis. I don't remember what his question was.
okay.
What do they say? The other people? They have what is their
There's
name?
those that say me melech.
Me.
Some say me melech.
Whether that's
In Chabad it says me melech. Some Sephardim even say me melech. But a lot of Ashkenazim just say melech. Malachim. They just they leave out the mem.
Okay, but we're saying Sholom Aleichem Malach Sholom Aleichem Malach Yashalim.
The Yasha in Shkoach, and maybe you don't hear it. Maybe it's just,
They say they
If I could check after, so we have the Siddur over here. I could see it's in. He says we have the Siddur Yavetz. Okay, so if maybe it's over, and I click for it afterwards. I'll check what he says.
I don't know about the ending.
There's.
He knows it very good.
So we have some more time. We exhausted this topic, so we'll go on to a different discussion. Something I was learning recently. No connection, but it's an interesting topic. There's a question. Well, he spoke the past few days about pikuach nefesh. Last week, that if someone's in a critical condition, you can do whatever you need to do to save his life.
Right.
So there's a question that was brought up in times of Sholom Kluger, 150, 200 years ago. So the question that arose was, are you allowed to, someone was sick, and the story was that they wanted to get a bracha from a tzaddik. They wanted to send a kvittel to the tzaddik for a bracha, for a fuah, but it was Shabbos. So what should they do? So the question that came up, if you're allowed to be Machal Shabbos to save someone's life, could you be Machal Shabbos to go ask a Rebbe for a bracha?
Wow.
So
Could it save them the same way?
it was a question.
But the real truth is, you don't have to go to ask him whatever. You don't have to go to him.
He knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on.
So the story actually happened. It was a Rav in the town of Zlotchov, that he told that he sent out two messengers to two different Rebbes to go on Shabbos. He wrote a kvittel, and he sent them to go ask a bracha with a pidyon nefesh, to ask a bracha for this person who was sick. So you can imagine it's a big uproar. Everyone was very upset about this. Sholom Kluger, one of the he's a great Pesach. He has a Pirush on Shulchan Aruch. So he wrote very sharply against it. He said, "Who is this person? What? He's Machal Shabbos. He shouldn't believe. You can't trust anything he says." He is very fuming mad about it. Also, one of the people they sent it to, the tzaddik was the Belzer Rebbe, Shalom Belzer, and so they sent it to him, and he was also fuming mad. So there you be Machal Shabbos or something like this. He says, not only that, now I have to make sure that the person actually gets healed in order to make sure it wasn't Chil Shabbos for nothing. And this is exactly what happened. He died for the person. Taka was healed, but everyone wasn't very happy about it. Everyone was very upset. But the question is why, right? What's the reasoning behind it? Seemingly, it seems like a nice svara. It's just like you can Machal Shabbos to give medicine. Maybe you could be Machal Shabbos to.
It's not 15.
The what?
It's not 15.
Yeah, maybe it could be Machal Shabbos to get a bracha for him.
Do more than that. It was like he did it on purpose because he knew that if they would not give the refuah, it would be a Chil Shabbos. So therefore, he forced their hands to daven for him and make that the refuah should come to that yid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they weren't so happy about it.
Of course not. What I'm saying is, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? He did it maybe
I'm not sure
on purpose.
I'm not sure if the Rav was that smart. I don't know who the Rav was. I'm not sure. But they weren't so happy. So the question is, what's the discussion behind it? So the question arises when we allow for people to give medicine. What is considered? What kind of medicine can you Machal Shabbos for? So there's an argument which comes up in Yuma. There's an interesting Gemara there. It talks about someone got bit by a crazy dog, a Kelev Sheitah. So I'm not sure they describe it. It sounds like a dog with rabies. It says it runs around with its mouth hanging open and its tongue hanging out, and it tries to bark and no noise comes out. It's an interesting description over there. It says, I don't know, maybe it means rabies. So it says that if someone's bitten by this dog, it's dangerous. It's sakanos nefashis. And you're allowed to be machal Shabbos to save his life. So the Mishnah brings out there's a certain remedy that the doctor said back then, that what should you do for such a person? You should feed him the liver of the dog.
Wow.
The
Hair of the dog.
What?
Hair of the dog.
The liver. You should feed the doctors back then. The doctors would say back then was you should feed him the liver of the dog, and that's what would heal him. So there's machlekes if you're allowed to do that. Chacham says also you're not allowed to treif, you're not allowed to feed it to him. And Rabbi Binyamin ben Charash says it's mutter. You're allowed to do this. So what's the argument? So there's an argument. What is the argument? Right? What is the halacha like the chacham? You're not allowed to feed him the liver of the dog to heal him. So what is their reasoning? So the machlekes between Rashi and the Rambam. Rashi says because it's not a properly tested medicine. People say to do it. That's what people do, but it hasn't been properly tested. It doesn't always work. Sometimes the person got better, sometimes he didn't. We're not so sure about this medicine, whether it's a proper medicine, and therefore you can't do it. We only allow you to be machal to do it isra, to be machal Shabbos, if we know it's actually a medicine. Not just anyone comes and says he needs something. We're not going to be lenient. We're not going to be lenient.
It's more than just a Shabbos issue, right?
Yeah, you're right. And this question was treif. It wasn't Shabbos. Yeah, but the same question applies to Shabbos. Yeah. And
So
this is Rashi's opinion. The Rambam says because it's not a natural medicine. It says when we allow people to do isra to be machal Shabbos, to eat something not kosher to save life, it's only if it's a normal natural medicine. This is some segula, just like people have. It's some I don't know, magical or some type of strange thing they would do. It wasn't a normal thing. It didn't make sense. Doctors didn't understand it. It can't be explained. Just like you have people they would write kameas, they would write different charms and different things to help the person. It doesn't make sense. So it says al pi halacha you can't use such a thing. Al pi halacha you can only permit someone to do an isra min HaTorah if it's a natural normal medicine. If a hocus pocus medicine like this, we're not allowing you to be machal Shabbos or eat anything not kosher.
It's called Kameya on Shabbos. Is there a discussion about that?
So there is a discussion on Shabbos. Halacha is if it's a proper kameya, which has been tested and 3 times and it works, you're allowed to wear it on Shabbos. So the question, I actually questioned the Rambam from that. If he doesn't hold that as a proper medicine, these things, how come you're allowed to wear it on Shabbos? So they asked that question. Yeah, but that's another part of the discussion. And so the question is, so now, Corey, you have this argument. What's the reason why you can't eat the liver of a dog? Is it because it's not a properly tested medicine? We don't know if it works, or is it because that it's a hocus pocus? It's not a natural medicine. So that's the argument between Rashi and the Rambam. So now coming back to our question, if you could go ask a Rebbe for a bracha, so what type of healing, what type of refuah is that? So according to the Rambam, it's not a natural medicine. So seemingly according to the Rambam, it will be also because only a natural medicine would be permitted.
are you saying miderech hateva?
Yeah.
So if the Rebbe needs to do me'al hateva, so you can mechal Shabbos on it. That's what you're trying to consider. And if it's natural, then you're allowed to mechal
Right.
Shabbos.
According to the Rambam, you can only do mechal Shabbos for a teva, a natural type of medicine, but a miraculous type of medicine that we can't be matir, and therefore, so that is one of the reasons why the Shlomo Kluger and the Marsham and all the people who came out against this, they said that it was wrong what they did because they can't be machal Shabbos for one of these medicines.
Right. But it was a magifa, how do you call it? The thing plague that was like not a while ago. That they didn't have medicine for it. I forgot what the name for it.
Bubonic?
No, that you get not bitten, but everybody was getting it. Ebola. Right?
Okay.
So the question is, if a person gets it on Shabbos, what they need is usually to be able to survive. Shem Yishmol, they need some kind of. They're not gonna survive, but they can make it slow down. And I don't know if they actually got anything onto whatever. Shabbos for him?
Oh, so it's
It's
a real medicine?
No, they don't have.
What do
I
they
don't know
do?
if they found a
How
medicine
do
for
they
it, but
slow
in
it
that
down?
time there was a whole thing going on in the United States that they didn't know how to stop it.
What do they do to slow it down?
They give the body whatever it's missing because it loses all the
Oh, but that's a real-
immune system of the body and it kills you.
Oh, so that's a real natural medicine. That's a real proper medicine. Yeah.
No,
certainly.
it's
Maybe it's
not.
just
It's
new
not
or
a best.
It's
huh?
not
It's probably
fully.
just new or something like that.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
but
fully
it's not
healing
dead
them,
yet.
but if they can make them live longer, so absolutely, if you can Machal Shabbos, even though the person is going to die in 2 minutes, if you can make him live for another minute, every second you can make him live is another mitzvah.
Don't they use leeches and
Concerning
stuff?
mosquitoes, right? With West Nile and Zika going on.
Right.
You told me you would tell me I'm not allowed to kill a mosquito on Shabbos. Would you tell me
Because
that?
of that, saying
Yeah,
that-
You're in Florida?
with these things going on,
Florida,
right?
yeah.
What would you say?
Depends where you live.
What would you say?
I'm not sure. I have to look into this. The discussion in Shin Tesvav about animals, like if a snake comes to attack you, if a snake comes to bite you, you're allowed to kill it. You're allowed to trap it.
Insects,
No,
things
but
that
so-
fly, but now
it's-
we're talking about a disease.
No, it's same
Right.
thing.
Possibly being
I
carried.
know. I'm telling you, it could be. I have to look
That's
into
the
it.
same.
I have
That's
heard the
the
question
same.
before. I haven't looked into
Snake.
it, but there's a discussion. A snake's coming to bite you. You're allowed to trap
Say if
it.
an insect is coming to bite you.
You're allowed because
are you allowed
first
to
of
kill an
all,
insect?
it's not. You're not
coming
doing.
to
It's the
bite
same
you.
thing.
It's the same difference.
Yeah,
First
No,
of
we
all,
don't know if the mosquito is a carrier.
No, but if it's coming to
can
bite
carry
you,
it.
it can still bite you,
That you're not allowed to kill.
even if it bites you.
Right.
but it's not dangerous.
But when they
But
carry
he's-
diseases like Zika and
Then it's
West
dangerous.
Nile,
Then
you
it's
see that
It's like the
it's
same thing
around.
in snakes too. In snakes too. Not every
Yes,
snake is
right.
a dangerous snake.
Right.
It could be a
Not
slippery
every
snake.
I don't know if it's a
Stupid
dangerous.
snake.
Yeah, it's just a rattlesnake. I just got a video of 2 kids running around in a corn place, and then you see a snake running around. This kid's 10 years old. They're playing around with the snake.
It's you don't know if
30,
it's,
night times,
Yeah,
Myers,
they-
9:30.
they-
Nine thirty, yeah.
30.
should be able to kill it.
Uh-huh.
So if it's a real if it's a real
playing around like a puppy.
the
I'm saying, it should be able
halacha
to-
is with a snake coming to try to bite you, you're allowed to kill it because first of all it's not you're not doing isur natera because it's what we call malacha shein tzricha legufa. If you were killing this because you needed the meat or you needed to feed it to your dog, that could be isur deraisa. But since you don't actually need it, you're just trying to prevent yourself from getting injured.
Yeah.
It's not a biblical transgression, and since you're trying to stop yourself from being hurt, it's okay. So it could be. So I have to look into this case. If it's such a big risk that everyone's getting bitten up, then yeah. But the question: how big of a risk is it? How is it just once in a while? Is it once in a blue? How common?
Take a chance.
What?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people taking a chance, not having babies, or the whole Florida Jews community not having babies. Well, a lot of people.
No, I'm saying
They do.
you should be able
Also,
to.
in these
Kill us.
Florida, in places where people are.
Danger like that.
So in Florida, in places where they're having a lot of these things, could be. It makes sense. I didn't look into it. It makes sense. It'll be okay. I have to look at. I didn't look into it, so I can't
the
tell you.
mosquito.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't look into it, but I can't say for sure. It makes sense.
I know if Florida can figure it out.
But we're coming back. So back to the
Probably been discussed by.
question of sending out the Michal Shams to ask a Rebbe for a bracha. So according to the Rambam, it doesn't work because it's not natural
nature.
medicine. But the halacha seems like the halacha really is like Rashi, not like the Rambam.
What if the Chayla would feel better that they know that the Rebbe was asking
Oh,
for a bracha?
so I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. The question according to Rashi. Rashi says as long as it's known that it works, it's a tested medicine, and we know that it always works. So then it's going to be okay. So if you know the tzaddik is a big tzaddik and his brachas take works, maybe it could be Machal Shabbos. So, but still they say that even according to Rashi, it wouldn't be okay to be Machal Shabbos ask a bracha because not every time the Rebbe is able to give you a bracha. Not every time you go to a bracha for all you need, the Rebbe gives it to you. It's not for sure. Sometimes the Rebbe could give you a bracha. Sometimes he can't give you a bracha. And there's the Minchas Shabbos, the Pirush on Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, he brings down a piece from the Zohar that says that even though the Eibusher has pleasure from the prayers of the tzaddikim, sometimes he does what they want, and sometimes he doesn't do what they ask him to do. So it's not concrete. It's not something so reliable that you could be Machal Shabbos for it. And
There's no guarantees.
yeah,
It's
medicine. You know this is
it's
how
got a
it,
track record. Medicine has a track record.
medicine. This is how it works. When it comes to asking you something to daven for you, not necessarily. We don't know for sure
We
if it's
don't
going to
know
work.
for sure.
And he may not answer for whatever reason he has. He may
Yeah.
not answer.
Yeah, you might not even answer. And so that's why they ruled against. They're very upset with this Rav, his Pesachim. So halacha it's absolutely awesome. And so he asks, what if this person is very nervous and he's very nervous, and the only thing that's going to calm him down is if he knows he has a bracha that he knows that someone told the Rebbe that he's sick and the Rebbe is going to daven. He's going.
You can comfort him. You can comfort the person.
It's going to comfort him. It's going to make him feel better. It's
Right,
going to.
right.
So for comfort, are we going to permit someone to be machal Shabbos?
It's like
I don't
somebody
think
who
so.
goes into an ambulance with the sick person.
Oh. So over there, and over there it's even more than just comforting. You also saying if you have someone with you, they'll take better care of you, right? You have someone to nurse the
They're
nurses.
managing the person. That's it. Yeah, they have their
That's-
job.
That's not besides making the person better. The person actually needs someone there to physically take care of him. So, you want to make sure the nurse. You want to make sure you want to stay on top of things. And
But the
Yeah.
person can comfort themselves if they're in the right frame of mind.
right, someone who's in critical
They can-
condition. I'm not sure.
I mean, if someone visits
I'm not sure
them,
what type of
they
frame
can
of
say
mind.
something to give them encouragement.
They can encourage themselves.
Yeah, they can encourage themselves.
Most people in critical condition. I'm not sure.
No,
how-
I'm saying if
this
someone
is gonna
comes
be
to
hard.
them and tries to, talk to them and make things lighter.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Lighter situation.
Right. It's
That
hard to
might
do.
help them.
It's harder to do it to yourself. It's easier when someone does it to you.
Right. Right.
There's a story in the Gemara that who was it? Rabbi Akiva, someone who was sick, and he said he came to Rabbi. So Rabbi Akiva he came to Tana, and he told him, do you enjoy being sick? Do you enjoy being sick? He told him, I don't enjoy the sickness. I don't enjoy anything about it. So he told him, okay, fine. So he told him, so he got rid of the sickness for him. So then he himself got sick. I think it was Rabbi Akiva. So then he had a problem. So he went to a different town. And he told him he has a sickness. He told him, do you enjoy the sickness or any of the benefits that come with it? So he told him, no, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy its benefits. He told him, okay, fine, let it be gone.
The kapara
So-
you're talking about.
Yeah, the kapara. He says, I don't need anything that comes along with it. So then they asked him, if you were able to get rid of it for this other person, why couldn't you get rid of it for yourself?
So, right.
Do it yourself. So he says, "In chavash matir satzmai." A person who's in prison can let himself free, but he can let someone else free if someone else is in prison. So, I guess when a person is in danger, he could help comfort someone else, but it's harder to comfort yourself. So the question is, he brought it up. Now, could you, even though it's forbidden to be machal Shabbos and ask for bracha, if the person's very nervous and he won't come down unless you do it, so they're placing that say there's such a concept that you're allowed to be machal Shabbos to help a person calm down. But placing say there's a difference whether it has something to do with the actual medicine, with the actual refuah, or whether it's something that's just to comfort them. Like, if if they say they need to have a certain medicine, this medicine they need to eat, this is going to make them feel better, it's going to cure them. If you don't give it to them, they're going to. It's a much bigger fear that their situation will worsen because they think you're not giving them the proper care. You're not giving them the proper medicine.
Becomes fun.
If they think you're not giving them the proper medicine, that's a much serious danger. And we're going to be lenient to give it to them. But there's another case, but some places say that if it has something that's not medicine related, it only has to do to calm them down. Like they want to have their relatives, someone who's not sure he's not going to live, he's not sure if he's going to live too long. He wants to have his relatives be with him. So over there, it's not something which is medicine related. The Alter Rebbe is of the opinion that you can't be machal Shabbos for such a thing. So back to the question: if you can machal Shabbos to get a bracha from her, to write a kvittel to a Rebbe. So I don't know. In din it's usher, right? We said before this either it's a segulis or because it's not a full beduka. It's not something which is guaranteed, and also if the person is very nervous and it's going to make them crazy, so and then it's going to help their situation. So they're afraid they're not going to get better. So maybe I don't know. Ask her up. Maybe then there's room to be lenient. I don't know. This is all theoretical, and I don't know if there's a Rav Shaili should ask her up.
And what about the thing about Yoleda lighting the candle for her on Friday night?
Oh yeah, so that was so the Gemara says that if
or putting out a light.
so
because
we it's brought the Gemara and it's brought down Shulchan Aruch that if a lady giving birth, it says she wants a candle lit, so you ought to light it for her, even though she's blind, and even though there's enough light for the midwives to do everything they need to do, still ought to be on Chal Shabbos. Why? Because she wants light, because she thinks that the midwives will be able, if something goes wrong, the midwives will be able to see. And therefore, and if she doesn't do, you don't do this for her, we're worried that her condition might worsen and it might be dangerous for her. So therefore, we're matter for you to do a Chil Shabbos in order to make sure that she is calm and she is convinced that she is having the best care done for her.
Putting out the fire.
If she thought that would help her, that would help her.
Not putting out the light because the light causes her.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Each word.
If it's going to help her pain, if it's causing her tsar, for Achila, if she's in critical condition, if it's causing her tsar, you can be Machal Shabbos for anything she needs. Anything you need.
Shinui, or did they say shinui is necessary?
For this, if it's causing her pain and she needs it, it could be even without a shinui.
Okay.